Hello and welcome in, you guys. I am here for another night read. I know the last couple days I kind of got into the nighttime. I always say I love the nighttime energy. It's calm, it's quiet. In the background, I don't know how well you might hear it. I have a fan going a little just to help circulate the air. With doing the sage and everything. Plus, for some reason, I am feeling really warm, and it's funny, I felt like that last night, and I don't know, it's not hot in my house, but for some reason, when I go to sit down, I just feel this warm energy come over me, and so I'm already channeling here, I think. It doesn't feel like this energy was mine before sitting down. Just taking a quick little sip. Let's see. You know what? Right before I turned on the camera, I was trying to pull a couple of decks and situate and feel out what I wanted to use. And from the Celtic deck, the Two of Pentacles fell out. And this kind of felt interesting to me. You know, Two of Pentacles is typically about balance. But in this deck as well, it's also about wisdom. You see how it's kind of like she has spirits behind her, guiding her, kind of a thing. And then there is the labyrinth behind her. So it's kind of like it's calling to remind us that to know our true inner selves, this balance that we're trying to find within us, you have to go all the way in order to come all the way out, right? That's what awakening is about. Like, a lot of people will like step a toe in and into their awakening and find that it's kind of too much, and then they kind of shy away and move back. And this is a reminder that, you know, while taking that first little step and acknowledging an awakening is still a good thing, in order to truly fully awaken, we must go all the way into it. We have to dive deep. We have to search within ourselves, and then we can find our way back out. And we will find ourselves in a new balanced energy. And that comes from that inner wisdom seeking within. So that felt important during this read. I'm going to put it back into the middle of the deck here. With that being said, I actually feel like this is going to be the deck that we start with tonight. I don't know why. I feel warm, and I almost even feel a little out of breath. There's this anxiousness. Someone is anxious, and their mind is reeling, is what it feels like. Oh, okay. Eight of Pentacles right off the bat here. Let me keep on feeling this out here a little bit. I was just talking about inner knowledge. It's knowledge, detail. Let me feel this out here. So, you know, he has tools in his hand. And it's kind of hard to tell exactly what kind of tools they are. It almost looks like a hammer or like a whittling tool. You know, Eight of Pentacles is about ambition and craftsmanship and hard work. We have a fox here. There's another little Bambi deer back there. And we've got a couple of fairies floating around. A bunny rabbit. This has a peaceful energy. Someone's been working hard. And it's funny though, because this is peaceful, like this card seems very peaceful. And this may be what they try to present on the surface. Whoever you're dealing with, this feels like love. Whoever you're dealing with, on the outside, they may seem calm, cool, collected. And that's an energy I've pulled on a number of times in the recent. Like this calm, no drama. But underneath, it feels like there's like this energy that I keep feeling. Like I feel hot and anxious all of a sudden. And so it feels like underneath the surface, they've been really anxious about whatever it is that they're working on. It's going to be different for everyone watching. It really feels like there's details in this person's life that they've been trying to kind of finalize or not push to the side. Like I think that's actually why there's been anxiety, is that there's like a part of them that wants to be with you and would push everything else, all of the other responsibilities they have, to the side. But the reality is they can't do that. And so they maintain a calm exterior, like, yeah, this is how things are, you know, maybe they're helping family, they're dealing with certain things in their career, but underneath, it feels like there's an anxiety that's building because the way that they had things set up worked until they met you. And now this anxiety is kind of building because they don't want to lose you. That's what this feels like. And it feels like the way that they have things set up, they're worried that they could lose you if they don't work through this fast enough. Well, Eight of Swords. Remember how I just said that they had responsibilities, other things that they were taking care of? That feels like this Eight of Swords, like they've bound themselves to it. They made commitments to other things, whether it's family, their career. You know, they may have decided in their career that they want to work towards a promotion of some kind, or maybe they got a promotion and now that's requiring them to spend more time and, you know, put in a lot more effort in that realm of their lives. So it's like they've been bound by that. And it's this anxiety I'm feeling is, can I involve this person in what I have going on? Or am I going to be too overwhelmed trying to juggle everything else I have going on? And are they gonna, and if I give myself to them in that capacity, are they gonna walk away because I'm too distracted by my work and by the other commitments that I have going on in my life? And so they're anxious about that. This is really interesting. And like I said, this is an energy for my collective people who find my readings. I feel like the people who this is going to resonate for, it makes sense. And of course, it won't resonate for everyone. But not everyone is always, you know, looking for answers in a toxic situation. This doesn't feel toxic. This just feels like you're wondering, do I hold on to this? Do I keep this going? Or is this person going to, you know, drag me along for the next couple of years while they figure their own stuff out? And am I just going to be sitting here like a waiting duck and I don't move forward with anything else? Like, I feel like that's what you're here for. So let's, wait a minute. I think something just flipped. Two flipped. What do we have? Well, Six of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. Let me feel this here. Six of Pentacles is success. It feels like they look towards you, like Nine of Cups is about abundance. And if you see here in this particular deck, she's pregnant, right? It feels like and Nine of Cups is also wish fulfillment. It feels like they look at you like you are this. You are their wish fulfillment. They could foresee this happy family life with you, you having their babies, or vice versa, them having your babies, you know, take the roles where they fit. Some of you may already be in this situation of pregnancy, right? And they want to share that, right? Six of Pentacles is about sharing the success. So they've been working on this because in order to move into this state and have this, they feel like they need to continue on this path that they set forward in their career to even be able to continue that abundance. I've said this in multiple readings now. Financial abundance is important here. King of Pentacles, yeah. You have someone who, I just said, finances is important here. That's a top priority to them in order to be able to provide for their family, right? Like if you guys move into that family life together, they want to be able to provide that family life. Have those traditional type roles is what it feels like. And it doesn't have to be completely, right? They might just want to be able to financially offer that you can stay home and be a wife and a mom, you know, while the kids are young. You know, that's a big thing these days. For a number of years, it feels like the world kind of shifted into this place where feminism, I'm sorry, if I could say it straight. We were in this place where feminism was kind of preaching like women should work and do what they want to do. And yes, while that is absolutely true, I will never fight that and argue that. I think a lot of people who move into this realm of family, they realize how stressful it is to try and be a wife and a mom and have a career, at least while the children are young, right? A lot of moms and a lot of women are realizing that those are really important milestone years that they want to be a part of. And so it feels like your person at least wants to be in the position to financially provide you this if that's what you want. They would offer that. I've said that before in another reading. Well, we've got more flying. Queen of Wands, because you're their queen. They completely see you as this fiery element that they want to give this life to, right? You've brought passion into their lives is what it feels like. And it totally goes against this here, which is exactly the anxiety I was feeling. Like they have been falling in love with you, but it's also been giving them anxiety because it was not planned. It feels like this person is a planner, an overthinker. They get in their heads very easily, right? So let's Temperance. Along with this passion, it feels like you're also teaching them to balance, though. Like the fact that this comes in under the Eight of Swords, it's them learning to balance this passionate feel, or they're actually even questioning within themselves, it feels like as well, as to figuring out, how do I balance what I already have set up, these commitments that I already have set in place, and add you into this, because you make them feel this love and this passion. And so they're trying to figure out a way to balance all these aspects of their life. Like I said, you have a planner here. This person, well, and the cards are talking. If you have sat in on any of my other readings, you'll know that sometimes I could sit here and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. And I always tell people, if you want fast cards, I'm not your reader, because I don't force the energy. But tonight, these cards are kind of flying right out here. So we have the Hanged Man energy. Yeah. Remember, I was just saying they're trying to figure out how to have it all. With you, they feel like they could have it all, but there's an element of them that feels like the Hanged Man suspended in place. And that's the part that's giving them anxiety, because they just don't know if they do allow you in fully and commit and say, yes, let's do this. Are you going to feel neglected by the fact that they put in so much effort into their work life and their career and whatever other situations they may have? Like I said, there may be some other family elements. It doesn't have to be children. It could be for some of you, right? Some of you, it feels like this person maybe had a child or two with someone when they were younger. Others of you, this could be about taking care of their parents, right? That's a situation that sometimes you feel obligated to take care of. And so this person feels a little stuck. They were not planning on meeting anybody like you. And that's where this anxiety is coming out. And that's even like the energy of this card, the cards. That's why it feels like these cards are flying out. Like this person, their mind is just reeling and reeling. And well, okay, here we go. King of Swords. See, I was just saying they're in their mind. They are a planner, right? Swords is air energy, which is mind. And your Ace of Pentacles. So coming in under the King of Pentacles of all things as well, right? They want to be able to come in with this offer. So it feels like you've got a person who's coming in. They're coming in with this offer despite this. It looks like they're in that phase of the relationship with you where they are feeling kind of like that fool energy, like that ready to take a leap kind of a thing, and bring in this offer with this Ace of Pentacles. And it's just so funny too. I was just saying about how they're in their head. They are they are like the king of overthinking is what I just heard. They are the king of overthinking. And probably their friends and family would even tell you that as well. Like they are just this person who feels like if they don't have their tomorrow and even the rest of their week planned out, it makes them anxious. They need to have, it makes them feel a little bit more in control, like they have ground and footing in their world. And so with you, that anxiety arises because they just don't know if, not only will you accept them this way, in the way that, you know, you may have someone who's a doctor or a lawyer, like that has a job that is very demanding of their time, of their effort, right? You know, that they have to put in a lot of time and hours into being successful, right? And that's the success here. They want to be able to share this success and move into this space with you of family life and building a family, pregnancy, happiness. It is really beautiful energy. So their intentions are to come in. It feels like, again, they're just in this phase of trying to decide how do they make this work? Where do I want to go from here? Let's see. You know what? It's nighttime, so I haven't pulled these in a little while. This is just some moon energy. It's a very small deck, so let's just see. This deck gives us some moon phase energy and also some animal totems. So let's just see if we can get some other confirmation messages as far as, you know, where this person is at. Like I said, I feel like you're also here deciding as to whether or not, you know, you should move forward with this. And it feels like they're coming in. They're going to offer you. So you will now have to decide, are you willing to be with somebody who, it doesn't feel like you're going to take a back seat to their career, but you have to understand that depending on their occupation, you being their partner and, you know, the mother or father to their kids, you're probably going to play the more dominant role in the household, whereas they're going to play the more dominant role on the financial end, because they want to carry on this career. It feels important to them. You know, someone who, I think of someone who becomes a doctor, who maybe they went through something in their life or knew somebody who, you know, had certain issues, and it inspired them to want to be, you know, in the medicine field. Or a lawyer, the same type of thing. Like something happened to somebody and they said, you know what, I want a career where I help people and I help them fight for justice, kind of a thing, right? So like their career is important to them. Not only the finances, but it's on that next level of prestige, is what I just heard. Like they always wanted to have this prestigious career. So it feels like you have to ask yourself, do you respect that? Will you respect them for keeping their career as a center focus? And that doesn't mean, again, like I said, that doesn't mean that you're going to fall at the wayside, but you also have to understand that their career is going to play a dominant role in their path. Full moon. How crazy is that? Tonight is the full moon, you guys. Take time to relax, recharge, and replenish your inner strength. That kind of feels like what I said with taking a little time to kind of marinate within yourself on whether or not you feel like you could deal with the offer that this person is going to present to you. I love that. Full moon, that full moon energy, you guys. Let's see. Along with that, I feel like I want to do Crystal Spirits Oracle. Let's see what messages the Crystal Spirits may bring us as I destroy my whole spread here. Angerine. I have to tell you guys, I've never even heard of this one. That's interesting. I'm going to pull one more before we take a look at the book as far as what that means. But it's number 1. That's the... That is the first crystal listed in the book. So that's interesting. I might not even have said that correctly, you guys. Agerine. Agarine. Agarine. Oh. Celestite. Okay, let's let me take a look at the book here. I just want to fix the deck a little. This doesn't want to line up for me nicely. Okay, so And Celestite is number 15. So 115 maybe of importance. Let's just take a look. Let's go for number 1 here. Let's take a look. So the essential meaning: integrity, solidarity, impeccability, reliability, consistency. It kind of goes along with what we were calling into question a little bit. You have a person of integrity who's going to offer you something big. But again, you have to decide if you're going to be prepared. That's part of what scares them though too. You know, a lot of times that leads to divorce. When someone is dominantly committed to their career, oftentimes our spouse can feel neglected. And so that's something that's part of their anxiety. Because they don't want to lose you. If they give themselves to you completely, they're afraid. This says, although we are always evolving, we all process deeply held values that we do not have to compromise. Wow. Your personal integrity matters. So if you're feeling pressured to say yes when your heart says no, or to be something you're not, listen to the message. It is so crazy that that is the exact message I was leading towards when we started pulling these cards. Talking about how you have to make the decision. Like, because it feels like they are going to come forward and offer this because they don't want to lose you. But you have to listen to your heart. Like, are you going to be okay with the value that they place on their career? I want to go into relationship message here. Do you struggle with trusting others? You need to trust yourself first. Agerine Spirit is calling you to be confident, for you deserve to trust yourself, trust the universe, and be true to yourself. Your strength and integrity will inspire others to show up as strong and reliable too. So be impeccable with your words. Consistently assert the values you hold dear and your right to be your unique self, for there can be no well-being when you are denying your truth. Be a beacon of integrity, and you will draw to you others who appreciate you. Well, once again, it's talking about values. So you have to ask yourself, do you value somebody who has the values that we've been talking about here? Like, they're absolutely that person who's going to love their family. I don't feel like they're necessarily going to take you as their spouse and whatever children you may or may not have for granted. It doesn't feel like that. But it feels like no matter what, their career is always going to be a dominant force. I can't say that enough. Whoever this resonates for. It is not about them neglecting you, but they worry, and their anxiety comes from the fact that they worry. Will you feel neglected? So let's take a look at Celestite 15. Essential meaning: connection to the angelic realm and divine energy. Clear channels for communication with your guides and universal consciousness. So yeah, this is calling to you to use your intuition, listen to your heart, listen to your soul as to whether or not you accept this offer that's going to come in from them, right? I'm going to jump to the relationship message of this, since that's what we're talking about here is love. So right now, guides and angels who understand human frailties are close by, nudging you and whispering to you, sending you love and helping you with any specific challenges you are facing in your relationship. They are completely dedicated to being that perfect friend, teacher, or healer, and will do all they can to connect you to people with gifts for you. So listen to the messages of Celestite Spirit and open your eyes to the workings of guides and angels in your life today. They will operate through people, strangers, newcomers in your life often. So if you have been isolating yourself, break out of that now. Pay attention to those being sent your way by the beings who know just how to help you. Enhance your relationship with guides and angels by reaching out to them with a prayer or request today. Wow. I've got to say, this reading is a guide. The messages that I'm bringing to you today, that's guidance. That's part of it. And, you may seek some advice from anyone else that you may know. But always remember, too, that your relationship is not a community project. You ultimately have to decide for you. I think it's important sometimes to hear out other people, listen to others' advice, but always remember that does not mean that you have to take it. Some people can give you the greatest advice, but that does not mean that you have to follow every bit of what they did, because that was their path. And you have a totally separate path, right? So this full moon energy is calling you in to listen to your inner guidance as far as what you're going to do with this offer that this person is going to present to you. That's what I have for you tonight. Listen to your own inner being. You know the answer within yourself. That's what I have for you tonight. Thank you for sitting in with me. I hope if you haven't done so already, you'll consider a like to the video and a subscribe to my channel. Help me grow it. I appreciate you guys. Good night.